good day. Why is it so hard to adapt anything? If you take a book and turn it into a movie, the movie's almost always going to be crap, or it's going to deviate from the book so much it might as well have been its own entity. Now we all know that the official Warhammer 40k film Ultramarines was crap. For a film that featured Space Marines, there was very little action, and what action there was pretty bad. But would you believe that a fan film actually surpasses an official film? That's right, the Warhammer 40k fan film Dominatus is in every way superior to Ultramarines. Which is why today we're going to take a close look at Dominatus. This film was created in Germany, supposedly by fans for fans, and I have to say, it shows. This film does stay true to the canon. Unfortunately, Games Workshop won't allow this film to be seen due to some idiotic copyright issue. But thanks to the wonders of the internet, there are ways to acquire it. One must remember, of course, that the film is entirely in German. So take care when acquiring this film to ensure that it comes with subtitle files. The film opens with an absolutely stunning narration over some really nice visuals. This opening narration gives us some idea as to what the 40k universe is about. The guy doing the narration sounds awesome. John Hurt did the opening narration in Ultramarines, and he did fairly good, but this guy blows Hurt out of the proverbial water. Just listen.
Das 41. Jahrtausend. Das Imperium der Menschheit. Es erstreckt sich über die gesamte Galaxis.
Eventually, we get to see a very well-rendered Inquisition ship. The effects here look really good, especially since this is a fan film. The graphics are reminiscent of the old Babylon 5 graphics. We then get introduced to an unknown Inquisitor who is en route to a planet that may or may not have chaos elements on it. Also, we see a hologram of a Space Marine saying that they cannot reinforce the Inquisitor because they're held up fighting Eldar. And that right there shows that the filmmakers knew what they were doing. They knew they had limited time and money, and they knew they did not have the budget to show Space Marines. So they gave a legitimate reason as to why Space Marines were not in the film. They really knew how to use their limited resources wisely, something a lot of other filmmakers really should take to heart. We see the ship enter orbit around the planet, and then the film proper begins. We get introduced to our main characters, who are not Imperial Guardsmen or even PDF troopers. They are instead mercenaries, which again makes sense because getting uniforms would be expensive. However, one of the characters does have a uniform and does belong to the PDF, and his uniform does look pretty good. The main characters unfortunately don't have that much characterization, but they work and are actually far more distinct than the ones seen in Ultramarines. The characters are as follows: Adeodatus, a PDF captain, Nira, a sanctioned psyker, who actually does use her powers to great effect, Sergeant Chorus, the double pistol guy, Von Remus, the leader, who carries an awesome katana, and German Rambo, Wodan. And finally, the awesome Octavian, a tech priest. Just look at this guy. Just think about this a minute. This is a fan film, and this tech priest character looks like what a tech priest costume would look like in a real movie. Already, Dominatus is superior in quality to just about every Sci-Fi Channel movie ever made. And so, the mission is this. Adeodatus and the Mercs have to seek out a chaos cult deep in the depths of the hive Santa Heroica Theta. A lot of the film is just walking around, and the film can drag on a bit. And so after some walking, the Mercs fight the first cultists, and the fight is actually done pretty well. Von Remus walks up to the cultists and distracts them while his men circle around and take them out from behind. It doesn't take long for the next fight to come, and it is actually pretty epic. The choreography is better than a huge number of low-budget action films, and it does have a very memorable sequence. That was just epic. That line definitely deserves a place on a top 50 action scenes. The rest of the battle works fairly well, although they did have to speed up a few segments, but overall the editing is clear and you can usually tell what is going on. So after that epic battle, the mercs walk around a bit until they meet up with an inquisitorial agent who tells them that they have to stop the radical inquisitor Maccabeus from raising a demon. And that's all you get. I really don't want to spoil the ending for this movie, as this movie deserves to be seen. This movie is excellent. It is superior to many low-budget films and some high-budget films. But before we end this review, we're first going to take a look at some of the fundamental aspects of Dominatus. The camera work and editing is well done. The scene transitions for the most part never feel abrupt. The sets and locations are amazing and really do look like something out of a really high-budget movie. The matte paintings look to be expertly done and the 3D sets look really good as well. The music is fitting, but there are only a very few music cues. But when the music is there, it works. The acting is also fairly decent, and I think we have all seen much worse. Really, the worst actor in the film is German Rambo.
In den Wirbel mit der Inquisition! Ich mach doch nicht die Drecksarbeit für die!
Yeah, he tends to overact a lot, but it certainly doesn't detract from the film all that much. The story is well presented and coherent, and there are a few things here and there that would be hard to figure out had you not read the books, but all told, the exposition will fill in most of the blanks. And finally, let's compare Dominatus to the official Warhammer 40k film, Ultramarines. Ultramarines had indistinct characters, zero characterization, and no real plot to speak of. It's really just guys walking around and occasionally shooting things. There was never any named villain, and the camera work was spotty to say the least. The film broke with canon on several occasions, and overall this film was a plodding, boring mess. Dominatus has fairly distinct characters, a little characterization, and a very distinct plot, and it actually has a named villain. The action scenes are not of just guys shooting randomly. The camera work is really quite top-notch, and the film stays with canon all throughout, and overall the film, while plotting at times, does present a coherent and entertaining narrative. So as you can see, Dominatus is in every way superior to Ultramarines, and I cannot recommend it enough to Warhammer 40k fans. And so at the end of this video, Warhammer 40k month comes to a close. But in the future I will still be reviewing Warhammer 40k media and Warhammer media. But for now, this is General Ots wishing you good Dragon Slayer, good Kane's Last Stand, or whatever makes you happy.